In developing our list of formal institutions, our main criteria was based from where seniors live, what media they use most, as well as family-friendly locations. Our list consisted of a senior community, a church, a few nearby libraries, and a community center, and the free local newspaper. We then proceeded to get each target's information like email addresses, phone numbers, and the best method of building exposure for each target.
Since not all formal institutions are the same, we sought to create a universal message that conveyed what Senior Bites is all about. We determined the best way to gain traction with institutions was to make first contact via email and follow up by phone or in person depending on the circumstances. We came up with this sequence to offer the most flexibility to our targets.
About our IMC strategy and brainstorming on how we're going to accomplish this.
Alright, so first off, I think it's important to identify the competitive landscape.
Yeah.
Just so that we know what else is out there and then we can differentiate ourselves accordingly. Competitive.
Yeah, and highlight like the key features of the program that other programs don't have.
Exactly. And then what do you guys think we should do after we do the competitive matrix?
So we should reach out, or like at least make a list so we can be prepared for the formal institutions, for what we should reach out to. Just so we have at least like a list in which we can email and try to grab and get their awareness and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. I like that. So we figure out the competitive landscape, figure out our target, and then execute, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool.
Like make a draft of the emails or phone calls of how we're going to communicate with the representatives.
Yeah. So looks like this is going to take a lot of creative assets.
Yeah.
There we go. We began our IMC strategy by first understanding Senior Bites as a program and the message behind it. Our team recognized that the message of Senior Bites was to promote healthy lifestyles for seniors and for community members to build relationships. The steps we took to achieve our goals were to identify and measure the competition through market research, compile a list of formal institutions to target, communicate with our list, and to develop appropriate creative assets based on who responded in our fourth step. Take a look at our competitors here in terms of reaching out to formal institutions. This is Meals on Wheels. They provide meals for seniors over 60, and so we want to be sure to set us aside from this since this is an already existing program. So we're trying to see what can differentiate or what we can differentiate in terms of pitching new ideas out to these formats.
Citywide program that is already existing called Active Adults Over 50. And so apparently you have to be a member to do that, and Senior Bites requires no membership, so that would definitely be a value point. And then once you're a member, you can participate in the senior nutrition program. So the senior nutrition program is only $3 for those who are 60 and over, whereas Senior Bites is a little bit more pricey. But
when developing our competitive matrix, we examined the market that the Senior Bites is trying to compete in, identifying sources of value for seniors who participate in the program and seeing how Senior Bites could be differentiated from the other programs.
We researched all programs that directly competed with Senior Bites in San Jose. Then we made a list of parameters or traits that are important decision-making factors to seniors who are looking to participate in the program. We filed all the relevant details into an Excel sheet. Afterwards, we developed how well the program executed each parameter on a 1 to 5 scale.
we actually just got a response, which is awesome because we didn't think that we would get a response, which is cool. And this is from a Mr. William Ballou, who is in charge of Times Media. And he said, great, our deadline is Saturday at 6 p.m. for next week.
Once we received confirmation from our target, we worked to develop a creative asset. We wanted to develop appropriate methods of exposure. For example, the local paper would be best suited for an article rather than advertising flyers, so that it would be free for our team to gain exposure. We collaborated on the article development via Google Docs and stayed in contact with Kevin via email. We also developed flyers online using
Our last creative asset, a newspaper article from Times Media, was written with the intent to inform the readership as to what Senior Bites is all about. We highlighted many of our key differentiators within the article, including that we're flexible, offer support to local businesses, require no membership, and provide more options than other senior meal programs. We decided upon writing an article for Times Media because they distribute localized newspapers for free in the Evergreen, Almaden, and Willow Glen enclaves of San Jose.
So this is our flyer here for Senior Bites. We're posting it here on.
The first flyer developed featured a black background with white text. This was done to make it easy for seniors to read while evoking a timeless classic nature. We used a lot of text and information to reduce the need for seniors to go online to learn more and to use cognitive appeals as well. All the locations were also included to illustrate the range of options available.
Alright, so I'm logged into Canva, and this is actually one of our creative assets designs. So as you can see, like I made this. The next flyer developed featured images from the beloved children's classic, The Hungry Caterpillar. This was done to attract the attention of children visiting the library with their parents. We decided to highlight any nearby Senior Bites locations to the MLK library and that there's no membership required to participate.
During the Celebrating Partnerships event, it was interesting to hear what other people thought about the program, and it was overall a great experience.
Here is what we learned. What worked was our flyers. The flyers we created were eye-catching and fit the target audience we were trying to reach. Also, our competitive matrix helped us understand where Senior Bites stands within the market and what sets it apart from other meal programs. Also, collaboration. Collaborating on email drafts and other creative asset developments helped us gain more experience working with different platforms and people. And lastly, networking. Talking to people at Celebrating Partnerships and communicating with formal institutions showed us the need for this program and the opportunity for success that it possesses. What didn't work was that we needed to further evaluate what institutions to target and why. For instance, San Jose City Library Marketing and Communications may not have been the best choice. Also, city-affiliated programs have first-mover advantage in city-affiliated formal institutions. Here is what we learned and how it relates to our IMC elements. Messaging and targeting. It's important to ensure the message and format of your IMC is appropriate for the group of people you are trying to reach, especially important during the design process of your IMC. Also, communication, professionalism, and impressions. Even after collaborating on email drafts and creative asset development, a lot of communication is time sensitive, and taking too long to respond or submit a creative asset not only is unprofessional, but it also hurts chances of people taking Senior Bites into careful consideration. This related to our IMC objectives because if we made a bad impression on our formal institution, then the chance that they would want to support Senior Bites would wane, even if the formal institution values lined up with Senior Bites.
Thanks for watching!